Yo, what's up, mate? How you doing, buddy? Finally reclaimed your throne of being first. What a wicked wild slate this is, buddy. I like this one, though. I like this one. What's up, Conflict? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Oi, what's up, Chubbs? How's everybody doing today? I can only imagine who you were listening to, Shannon. Yo, Nate! My man, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I'm glad to see your name pop up. Guys, yesterday was fire. Yesterday's core, Anthony Black, Bilal Colaby, LeBron James, Karl Anthony Towns, they all done amazing. And then I had Max Christie in there. He didn't kill you. He got right at value. So, I mean, if you rocked yesterday's core on FanDuel, you probably had a good day. And even the DK core of D'Lo, Khalil Ware, and Anthony Davis, every one of those guys done amazing. Then I had Terry Rozier in there as the last piece. He didn't do so hot, but I don't think he killed any of your lineups. If you rocked the core, you probably cashed yesterday. Really good day for us yesterday, guys. I hope I'm able to give you guys just a good of core today. Just fire core today. Man, I loved Cade Cunningham today, but now getting this news from Dallas, whew, makes Kyrie look really intriguing. Nate, bro, how did you do that? Nothing but good wishes for you, bro. I truly hope you get better soon, man. I hate to hear that. I know that had to be painful. Hey, on FanDuel, he was optimal, Shannon. Cat was the second best center on the slate, but Khalil Ware was just out of this world. Yep, Brooklyn's down to 9 guys. Looks like Dallas is down to 8 guys. Lots of value today, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of value. It's really going to be a stars and scrubs type day for me. Also, just so you guys know, in case you did not get the memo, guys, the Milwaukee-New Orleans game has been postponed. It has been postponed, so do not roster anyone from that game. And, man, you must have been lifting too much weight, Nate. I know you're probably feeling down about being injured, man, but hopefully I can help you win some money today and lift your spirits a little bit. It's 5 o'clock, let's hop into it. And I'm going to ask you guys, do you want me to go game by game or position by position? It's totally up to you guys. I want to know what you guys like better. I'll do either one. Let me know how you guys want me to break it down today. By position? Sounds good to me. Seems like everybody likes it. Well, Shannon says game by game. I got 2 votes for position, though. I'm going to go with whatever the majority wants. I like game by game, but I want to do what you guys like. Back to basics, he says. All right, let's start it off with the point guard position. SGA, I don't mind SGA today. You're going to get a little different if you rock him. He's only 13% owned compared to LaMelo's 27. Cade 14, I think that's low. I think Cade comes in higher than that. And Trey's 18. So as far as the studs go, it looks like it's going to be position. Nate voted it. My wife voted it. So everybody want a game by game. I'm sorry, guys. We're going by position. But SGA, low owned, amazing matchup. But the blowout potential here is real. Utah is terrible. You guys know I don't like to play for blowouts. But man, these teams are just... I mean, you got one of the best teams in basketball taking on one of the worst. Over his last 5 games, SGA has averaged 1.79 fantasy points per minute. That is insane. That is insane, guys. So I really like SGA if you're trying to get a little different today, but you have to be wary of that blowout. He is a very risky option. What's up, Kyle? It's a huge day. Why is it a huge day? My favorite pay up on the slate, LaMelo Ball. I love this guy today, taking on my Memphis Grizzlies. He is getting a lot of love, though, at 27% owned. This team has they're struggling with injuries. It's really him and the Bridges show. That's all this team has. I mean, a lot of people don't even know who Nick Smith is, and he's probably going to be starting for him. So LaMelo's going to soak up so much usage today. I am happy to have him in my lineups. Going to be a core piece for me today. Love Melo. Cade Cunningham was going to be a core piece for me before we got this Dallas news. Now I'm kind of liking Kyrie. Regardless, I still love Cade today. I'm going to have a lot of Cade taking on Atlanta, who plays fast, but they play terrible defense. I'm always happy to play guards going against Atlanta. Cade just happens to be an elite guard. Mark Richards, you mean, not Mark Richards, you mean Mark Williams. Kyle, let's win some money, buddy. Let's win some money. But Cade looks awesome. He's going to be a staple in a lot of my lineups today. May not be as owned by me now that Kyrie news broke. Well, the Dallas news broke, but I'm still liking him, still going to have a lot of him. Trey looks absolutely viable as well if you want to go the other side or even just stack this game. I think this game's really getting overlooked. Going to be a great game environment. Has a total of 235.5, which is really good to target. It's actually the second highest on the slate now that Milwaukee game's off of it. But really like Trey here. I was going to rock some Cade Trey lineups today already. So I say way too much. But anyway, really like Trey today. I think him and Cade are going to go band for band today, just back and forth. Really happy to have him in my lineups. De'Aaron Fox, I think, is just okay. We just got news Bradley Beal's ruled out. So that's actually important news. I think Tyus Jones is going to look pretty good now in a game that should be a blowout. We'll talk about him in a minute. De'Aaron Fox, I'm not there today, guys. There's just too many better options in my opinion. If I was ranking my guards today, I have LaMelo, Cade, Trey, SGA, Kyrie, James Harden, John Morant, all ranked above De'Aaron Fox, and he's just not going to wind up in my lineups today. If this was another slate with fewer games, different players, sure, but just not today. I think Grayson will be alright. He'll look alright too. I have no interest in Donovan Mitchell today. He is coming off a 56 and 50 point game, so he's been playing better as of late. I just really don't like the matchup against Houston. The way to beat Houston's down low, and I feel like they're really going to have to rely on their bigger guys in this game. Kyrie, I hate the matchup against Minnesota. But you can't ignore the fact that they have 8 bodies today. Kyrie's going to play every minute in this game. And he just played 41 minutes against Charlotte on the 20th. He dropped 47 fantasy points, and he didn't even shoot that well, 11 for 24. Kyrie's gonna have to do everything for this team today, and I'm really targeting Kyrie today. Love him. What's up, Jose? Welcome in, buddy. James Harden, I think, is really being overlooked, and I know you DK players, he's not on that slate, but the Clippers are another team that has just been devastated by injuries. Norm Powell's not going to be out there. James Harden is still questionable, so if you are going to roster him, you need to monitor that news. Being the last game on the slate, it is risky. We may not get that news in time. But if he plays, don't like the matchup against Boston, but where they're weak is against the guard. And we know Harden has the tournament winning upside. He's only pulling 7% ownership today. Sorry, I misread it. 9%. I think on a slate like today, a player that likes to play contrarian, like eight-legged ape, I think James Harden is your main target if you want to get different today. Ja Morant, I think he's going overlooked. We know Morant has huge upside. He just hasn't really shown it this year, but the matchup does not get any better for Ja today, and the price of $8,600 for Ja Morant's upside is pretty criminal. Ja, I'm happy to land on in my lineups today, but he is pulling 16% ownership. Steph Curry, I'm just not on him on this slate. The price is very cheap for Steph. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I never thought I'd see the day where Steph Curry and Ja Morant are priced at $8,600 on FanDuel, but I'm just not there. I'm really not. I don't really care for the matchup, and he's pulling 14% ownership. I would just rather go elsewhere. Malik Monk, I'm not on Malik either. I know he's played really well lately. The matchup is a solid one, but the team is pretty healthy. You still got Fox, you still got DeRozan, and you still got Sabonis, who soak up more usage on this team. If they had some guys out with injury, I would be happy to play Monk today, but I'm just not getting there right now. Darius Garland, really no interest going against Houston. Keontae George's price is just way too high for me going against OKC's defense. Fred VanVleet, just a tournament play for me. Dyson Daniels, another guy that's just really a tournament play for me. Great matchup, but Dyson's just so hard to protect. He's either scoring you 45 or 25, it seems like. I have no interest in Derek White. Colin Sexton, just a GPP play. Dinwiddie is going to look good now that we got the news that they're playing with like 8 guys. Not thrilled to have Dinwiddie in my lineups, but it's going to be a stars and scrubs day for me. I don't really care for him at 6,400, but if he winds up in a lineup, I'm not mad. I would just really rather either get up to Kyrie, or get down to Quentin Grimes. I don't want to go in the middle. I want Irving or Grimes. It absolutely could be 8. I think Dyson Daniels is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. No interest in Peyton Pritchard. No interest in Isaiah Collier. No interest in Drew Holiday. Tyus Jones, now that we got Brad Beal out, definitely becomes intriguing. Should be a good tournament play in my opinion. Don't mind him. He's pulling 4% ownership right now. I expect that to go up a little bit. But I'm probably not going to have Tyus in my single entries. But I'm happy to get to him in a GPP. 150 max MME tournament. No interest in Dennis Schroeder. Cason Wallace is absolutely fine because he is a blowout-proof player. Has really good upside for his price. Should play most of this game today. Don't mind Cason Wallace. If you're in that 5K range, you don't know who to throw in your roster, I think Cason Wallace is that guy because it's kind of a no man's land between 5K and like really 7K, honestly. Only viable option between 5K and 7K, in my opinion, is Dinwiddie, Tyus, Cason. Cason being the cheapest of the 3. No interest in Scottie Pippen, Buddy Hield, Keon Ellis. Mike Conley, I can never trust this guy. If you were in a GPP, maybe, but there's better values out there today. No interest in Ty Jerome or Luke Kennard. Kevin Porter Jr. looks amazing today. you're going to want some Kevin Porter Jr. in your lineups today on FanDuel. He's going to see plenty of minutes to pay off this $4,200 price tag. He is a staple value today. No interest in any of these guys, all the way down to Reese Beckman, whom I do like a lot today. They got 9 guys. They're going to run a short rotation. Reese should get plenty of minutes, and he's only $3,700 today. Now, I'm paying up at guard today, so I may not get as much Reese Beckman as I want, at point guard that is, but I do like him a lot. Moving over to 2 guard, Devin Booker. I think he's just fine. Not really targeting any star players from the Suns, KD, Booker. I just think the game's going to get out of hand very quickly. Brooklyn is so bad. They only have 9 bodies. Just not a way I'm building today. We got news. Jimmy Butler has been suspended for 2 games for missing a plane. And Quentin Grimes is not going to have a minutes limit. That is huge. I was worried about that. I'm glad they let us know. See, Anthony Edwards, I think he's just okay. I'm probably not going to get any Anthony Edwards today because I don't like the game environment at all. And I'm doing more of a stars and scrubs build. If you land on him, I think he's fine, but I'm not there. Talked about most of these guys already. Jaylen Brown, not going to be there at all. Amen Thompson, this guy's always in play, in my opinion. Just a great basketball player. He really is. If he falls in my lineups, I'm happy to get to him. I don't think I'll get much just because of his price and how I'm building today, but if he's in a lineup, I'm happy to play him. Desmond Bane's fine. I would prefer just trying to get the extra $900 and playing Ja, but 56, 42 fantasy points in his last 2 games. Over his last 5 games, he's averaged 1.22 fantasy points per minute. If he lands in my lineup, I'm fine with it. Jalen Green has come crashing down since he was a staple core piece for us last week and the week before that. I'm not there today. Talked about pretty much all of these guys down through here, all the way down to Malik Beasley. I just think he's okay. He would be just a last guy in type for me. I'm not there really. MME only. I'm not there. Lou Dort, kind of the same way as Beasley. I think this game gets to be a blowout, and he should get plenty of run if it is. But I just like other pieces more today. Just a MME 150 max play. I like Karis LeVert over on DK on FanDuel. I'm not there. Keon Johnson looks absolutely amazing today. I'm telling you guys right now, you're going to want one or both of Keon Johnson and Tyrese Martin in your lineups. One or both of those guys. Keon Johnson, Tyrese Martin. They both are grading out as fantastic value today. Fantastic. Happy to play both of them. I'm okay with them both being in my lineup. Asar Thompson, you guys know he has the upside of the moon, but his coach, I don't know what his deal with his coach is. I guess he was texting his coach's wife or something. I don't know. This dude never sees over 25 minutes, and it should be a crime because he's such a good basketball player. If you roster him hoping that he gets over 25 minutes, and he does, you're probably going to have a good day. But it's really dependent on his coach's mood. Very risky player, very volatile because of his minutes, but he has a huge upside. Dylan Brooks is just okay. Like, nothing crazy. If he falls in my lineup, so be it. Quentin Grimes looking amazing now. Gonna be a staple of a lot of my lineups today. The lineups I can't get to Kyrie are all gonna have Quentin Grimes in them. Love Quentin Grimes. Yeah, I know he had blood clots either last year or like at the start of this year. One of the two, Chubbs. But I thought he was over that. What's up, Don? But Quentin Grimes absolutely must be in your roster today, in my opinion, if you're not playing Kyrie. Love Quentin today. No interest in Buddy Hield. Cody Martin, just a GPP play. No interest in Keon Ellis. No interest in V. Grayson Allen is absolutely viable now that we got no. Why's my brain not working? Who's out for the Suns? Bradley Beal. There we go. My brain had a hiccup. But really happy to have Grayson Allen in my lineups today. Don't mind him at all. Vic Krejci. Kind of interesting. Played 33 minutes last game. I don't mind him in a GPP, but not a guy I'd have in a single entry. Kind of the same with Jalen Wells. No interest in Kennard. No interest in Strus. I cannot stand having Tim Hardaway in my lineup ever. No to Bogdanovich. We talked about Kevin Porter. Isaiah Joe, outside of Cason Wallace, is my second favorite value from OKC. If you think the game's going to blow out, Isaiah Joe should get plenty of run. They just blew out Brooklyn on the 19th. He played 22 minutes. I expect he could get more than that today. Grayson or Dunn? For me, it'd probably be Grayson right now. Moving down the line, Moses Moody, no thank you. Micic, no thank you. Nick Smith, absolutely viable. He's going to be a core piece over on DK. On FanDuel, absolutely playable value. Happy to have him in my lineups. Josh Green, just MME, and then looking, no interest in anyone else down through here. None. If for some odd reason, I absolutely do not think he's going to, but if for some odd reason Seth Curry starts, then he would become fine. But I'm 99.99% sure they're going to rock Nick Smith. They have the previous 2 games. Moving over to small forward, I'm not interested in Jason Tatum today, or KD, or Booker. If you think the game can stay close, you're welcome to play Durant and Booker, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be a blowout of epic proportions. Jalen Williams, he's still questionable. I'm not sure if he plays or not. If he plays, he's fine, but not a guy that I'm really like trying to jam in my lineups. But a Jalen that I am is Jalen Johnson. I told you guys I like Trey a lot. I'm not going to be able to get to much Trey because of the way I'm building, but I can get to Jalen Johnson. And I think the sky is the ceiling for Jalen today. Just a wonderful matchup. Doesn't get any better. Jalen Brown, no thank you. We've talked about most of these guys. Not interested in DeMar DeRozan. I never want DeMar DeRozan in my lineups, but I will say he has met value or exceeded value in his past 3 games and played 36 or more minutes in each one of them. Not interested in Lauri Markkanen. First game back from injury. Miles Bridges grading out pretty well. If you're building and you don't have LaMelo, I think Miles Bridges is a guy you would want in your lineups. Really like Miles today. Getting a phone call. I have no idea who that's from. No interest in Wiggins. Tobias Harris, if you can't get the Cade, you probably want some Tobias. Kind of like the Trey Jalen dynamic. I want one of them in my lineups. Yo, Dwayne, thank you a ton, man. I appreciate that. You have any DFS questions, please feel free to hit send in the chat. I'm happy to answer anything you got, buddy. But Tobias looks great. Happy to have him in my lineups. I tell you, I would be happy rocking a LaMelo, Kyrie, Jalen Johnson, Tobias Harris core today. Probably going to be a little too pricey for me to make it the core, but I love all 4 of those players today. No interest in Keegan Murray. DeAndre Hunter, just a MME piece. Same with Tari Eason. Jaden McDaniels is fine if he lands in your lineup. He's been playing really good basketball lately. Happy to have Jaden in my lineups today. Talked about most of these guys already. Aaron Wiggins is fine if you think the game blows out, which I do. Talked about most of these. Ryan Dudd's absolutely fine, but I prefer Grayson Allen for only $200 more. And really no interest all the way down here unless you guys know I can't pronounce his name every time we do one of these shows and he's on it. I screw his name up. So Tassan, however you say this guy's name, he's a fine value. Don't mind him at only $4,100. None of these guys are relevant to me. Derrick Jones looks like a smash value play today. Happy to have Derrick Jones or Amir Coffey. I mean, they're both grading out as almost the same value. They're going to get plenty of playing time today. I'm happy to rock either one of them. And moving down the line, yet nothing here is sticking out in this range at all. Let's move it to power forward. Sabonis, don't mind him. If he's in your lineup, so be it. I'm not there because of the way I'm building, so. Talked about Tatum and Durant. Jaren Jackson, he's just okay. Not really there, to be honest. I'll have him in some MME 150 max stuff, but that's about it. Porzingis, he's questionable. He was at shoot around this morning. I'm not interested though, even if he does play, to be honest. I think Jarrett Allen is getting a little bit overlooked. I say that, and he's pulling 15% ownership. Never mind what I just said, but he's in a really good spot. The way to attack the Rockets is down low, like I said with when we were talking about Spida. And no Mobley, just a great spot for Allen. Though I will say, I believe it's the past 2 games Mobley's been out, and he has just underperformed so bad. So bad. I think Julius Randle's just okay today. I'll have him in some 150 maxes. Maybe 1 or 2 shares in a 20 max. No interest in John Collins. PJ Washington, don't mind if he's in my lineups today with this thin rotation. Not a guy I'm going out of my way to roster, but I truly don't mind if he's in them. I would say I prefer a Okongwu though. I think Atlanta is finally doing it. They're kind of getting away from Clint Capella and giving Okongwu more of those minutes. He's played 28 and 32 in his last 2 games. And I've said since last year, all Okongwu needs is the minutes. He's got huge upside for only 6,500. Really like some Okongwu tonight. Really like some Okongwu in tournaments tonight. No interest in Wiggins or Trace Jackson Davis. Naj Reid's viable. They're going to need his defense. I mean, Gafford is, where's he at? He's just popping because they have nobody. We know Gafford, he's great on the offensive end, but his defense really lacks. So I feel like they're going to be playing a lot of Naz to mitigate his offensive impact. So happy to have Mr. Reid. Talked about most of these guys. No interest in Santi Aldama. Noah Clowney, absolutely viable today with all the injury news they got. Noah Clowney is absolutely viable. No interest in Kyle Filipowski. Jalen Wilson, absolutely viable. If they're a net, they're viable in my opinion today. No interest in Royce O'Neal or Trey Lyles. Isaiah Stewart, just in a 150 max only. No interest in LaRavia, Clark. Wade, if he's starting, is just okay. Same with Niang. And no interest really in any of these guys down here except for Oliver Prosper and Maxi Kleba. I would prefer Prosper, but either one of these guys are viable today with that small rotation they're running. Let's move it to center. Talked about Sabonis. Sengun, don't mind him as a get different play today. Only 6% owned right now. If you get to him, he's totally fine. Mark Williams, one of my favorite plays on the entire slate. This dude's upside is huge. It's huge. I love Mark Williams. We know Jaren Jackson, while he has improved, he has a history of struggling with fouls, as does Zach Edey. I just don't think the Grizzlies have anyone to contain Mark Williams down low. Happy to have Mark Williams in my lineups today. Probably my favorite center on the slate. Walker Kessler, no thank you. Daniel Gafford, he looks great now that we know he pretty much doesn't have a backup. I mean, you can throw Maxi Kleber in there, I guess, at center, and then he just gets dominated by Gobert and Reed. But Gafford, he looks great. And over his last 5 starts, he's averaging 1.57 fantasy points per minute. Probably skewed a little bit considering his last game he dropped 78 fantasy points on January 20th against Charlotte. But he did shoot 12 for 15, grab 15 boards, and had 7 blocks. I don't anticipate he will do the same against Minnesota, but he should have a good game according to the projections. No interest in Collins. We talked about a Congru. Jalen Duren's just okay. Like, I might have a couple shares in a 150 max, but that's about it. No interest in TJD. Rudy Gobert, kind of the same as Duren. I will say over on DK, though, I love him. I love Gobert on DK. Nick Claxton, probably my least favorite net today. He's grading out well, but it's just a watching basketball thing. Claxton, he's been struggling, man. He has. And you always got to worry about Claxton, much like Draymond Green getting ejected just because they have hot heads, you know? I think Nick Richards is absolutely viable today. Don't mind him. He's only pulling 3% ownership, and he has huge upside, guys. He has huge upside. He has a very low floor, but his upside is huge. Jalen Williams, absolutely playable. Last 2 games dropped 32 and 36 fantasy points, making the most of his opportunities. I have no interest in Clint Capella. We talked about Clowney. No interest in Al Horford. He's questionable, but even if he plays, no interest. No interest in Drew Eubanks. Day'Ron Sharpe is just popping for me. He should get plenty of minutes today. Over his last 5 games, he's a 1.12 fantasy point per minute player. When this guy gets the minutes, he produces, and he should be able to get the minutes today. If Al Horford's out and Porzingis is out, that would make Luke Cornett look really good, but we probably won't get that news till way late, and most of your centers have probably already played. Really no interest in anyone else through here except Mo Bamba. 3,900, Zubac's not playing, Bamba's gonna have to step in. Only 3,900, I'm happy to have him. So that's FanDuel. Let's go over the core, and then we will go over DK. PJ's projection. So I had a meeting today and could not get my projections done. So all the ones that are changed, I just kind of did it manually. The rest of them are line stars, but they have PJ right now at 31.93 fantasy points. But my first core piece is going to be LaMelo Ball. Second core piece is going to be Kyrie Irving. Let me go by value here. There we go. Third core piece is going to be a cheapie, Kevin Porter Jr. Next core piece is going to be Jalen Johnson. Then we need one more. Oh, you're good, APK. You got any questions? Hit me in the chat. I'll help you the best I can. And my last core piece, gonna be another guard here. Gonna be another guard. Where'd he go? Tyrese Martin. Well, he can slide at the small forward. But that's gonna be my core for FanDuel. LaMelo Ball, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Porter, Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Martin. Let's run it, see what we get. I'm gonna post it in the Discord. If you guys aren't in our Discord, it's completely free. It's linked in the chat and in the description. Happy to answer any questions after the slate locks in there. Hey, what's up, Conscious? I hope you won some money yesterday, man. Alright, I got that posted in the Discord. Before we go over these lineups, I want to tell you guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps tremendously. Join our Discord. It helps so much. I really would appreciate it, guys. Let's see what we're getting here. So, told you stars and scrub builds today. Loving this first lineup with the exception of DeAndre Hunter. I suspect he was the last man in on that one. The second one I like more. Uh, but we're getting LaMelo, Cade, and Kyrie. I mean, what more do you want? That looks great. Looks great. Let me try something here. Let me try something. My favorite center on the slate's Mark Williams. Will he fit in here? He may not fit in here. If he doesn't, that's okay. Still love this core. Probably going to have to get off Cade, and that's all right. Yep, we are. So we get Tyus in this one. Told you guys I liked him. We didn't get Cade, but we got Tobias. Bingo, baby. I told you that's how I wanted to rock it. If I can't get Trey and I can't get Cade, I want Jalen Johnson, Tobias Harris. We are there right here. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Let's go. We get news or did I get a text? I have no idea what that is. Oh, it's playing a voicemail. Sorry. Not good with technology, guys. Alright. So let's move it over to DK. Dillingham and Whitehead lineup. I would not want Dillingham. And Whitehead, I think, is a reach. He's the only 2 guard. I was going to say, I would prefer Reese Beckman at only 3K conscious. Grimes or Keon. Woo, that's close. It would be how your lineup is set up. If you already have Kyrie, I would rock Keon. Oh, dude, Scoot killed me last night. I'll be the first to admit, I was wrong on the Scoot Simon side of things last night. Scoot, oh, he disappointed me. Disappointed me. But on DK, Tyus Jones looks fantastic, as you guys can see on the screen here. Love some Tyus on DK today. Reese Beckman looks solid. Only 3K. Very happy to get some Reese Beckman in my lineups today over on DK. Kaysen Wallace, happy to play him. Keon Johnson's going to be a home run play. You have Kyrie and Tyrese. So I would prefer Keon with Kyrie and Tyrese. I think they're both really good plays today, though. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. But Keon, he's a home run piece. Karis LeVert, probably going to start if he plays. And he looks great at 4K. Really like him. SGA and LaMelo, they both look great. I do have the blowout concern for SGA today, but LaMelo looks like a home run. I would prefer LaMelo, but I understand he's $200 cheaper. If you can't quite get there, SGA's fine. Cade looks great. I think Cade's really getting overlooked on DK. I know his price is steep, but he's only pulling 8% ownership, and he's in the best matchup here compared to LaMelo and SGA. Spencer Dinwiddie looks fine. Rob Dillingham, just okay in my opinion. I would much rather get to Beckman today. I really would. Conley, I'm not there. Trey looks fine. Devin Booker, I would look elsewhere. Kind of the same for Ant. Then Kyrie's going to look fantastic. Even at 9,100, I'm still happy to play him over on DK. John Moran at 8,500. The upside's huge. The upside's huge for Ja. At the 2 guard, Nick Smith Jr. is a core piece for me on DK. He's expected to start again. Only 3,200. You just can't get away from that kind of value. Quentin Grimes looks fantastic. 26.5 fantasy points. Talked about Kaysen Wallace. Grayson Allen looks great as well. The way I would do it over on DK is I would pick one of Tyson or Grayson. Pick one you want to rock today. I think they both look fantastic, though. Isaiah Joe and Lou Dort, I'll group them together. They look good because they're projected minutes because of the blowout. Not that high on Jalen Wells today. Karras, we talked about him. Desmond Bane at 7,600, absolutely in play here on DK. 7,600 is very cheap for Bane over on DK. Tyrese Martin looks great. Don't love his price, but he looks solid. Not really interested in Booker. Not interested ever in Tim Hardaway Jr. ever. Almond's fine. Spida's pretty cheap at 8,400. Hate the matchup, and I really don't want to roster him, but if he lands it, I hit Opto and he lands in it, I'm okay with it today. Nothing else really sticking out to me. Move it over to small forward. Quentin Grimes looks amazing. We talked about him. Oliver Prosper looks great. Stone minimum 3K. Happy to have him in my DK lineups today. Tosan looks fine. Jaden McDaniels at only 5K. I'm happy to have in my roster. DeAndre Hunter's just okay at best. Asar Thompson, the upside's huge. The upside's huge for Asar. Jalen Wilson, don't mind him. Nothing else really sticking out. Move it over to power forward. Talked about most of these guys. Naz Reid looks great at 5,400. I'm very happy to get some Naz Reid in my lineups. And you guys know I loved him on FanDuel. He's cheaper on DK. Give me all the Tobias Harris. Really like some Tobias Harris today. Aaron Wiggins. I know he's cheap, but I just think you can get better values. Julius Randle's just okay. No interest in Aldama. Miles Bridges looks good. If you can't get to LaMelo in your lineups, Miles Bridges is fine. Cade Smith Jr., McDaniels, Naz Okongwu, Trey Grimes, Gafford. I think that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine, Ronnie. Jalen Williams is okay. No interest in LaRavia. PJ Washington is just okay. Really, none of these guys through here I'm intrigued by. Center is going to have two core pieces for me today. First off, it's going to be Daniel Gafford. Guy Ronnie said he already had in his lineup. I love Gafford today over on DK. His upside's huge. It is. They just don't have bodies today. Then Jalen Duren looks solid. Don't mind him at 5,500, but you are worried about fouls with him. Jalen Williams at only 5K. His upside's huge, especially in this game where it's expected to blow out. But my next core piece, Mark Williams. Told you guys, I love him today. I can't get away from him. 7K is just far too cheap for a guy who's projected for 41 fantasy points. And I think his floor is around 40 fantasy points. Love some Mark Williams today. Cade Trey, Kyrie, KPJ, Keon. I don't know what you're trying to say about it, Chubbs, but I mean, if you're rocking that, it looks great. Okongwu, we won't be able to play with this core, but I love Okongwu at only 5,600. Yeah, Mark Williams is just a beast. Beef Stew at only 3,100. I don't mind him as a value. Rudy Gobert looks fantastic at, well, I guess he'd get more ownership than I thought, 19%. But Rudy Gobert at only 5,400 is just a crime. Talked about Nas. Day'Ron Sharpe, don't like him as much over on DK. Irving Smith, Tosan, Nas, Okongwu, Ball, Grimes, Williams. Hey, I like that one, Kyle. I like that one. And you know I always provided 8. Cade, Trey, Kyrie, KPJ, Keon, Tyrese, Okongwu, Jaden, Nick Richards. Yeah, I think that's viable, Chubbs. No interest in Clint Capella, even at 4,700. Jarrett Allen at 6,800 feels super cheap. No real interest in Brandon Clark, Zach Edey. Sengun's fine. He's always fine. Nick Richards, don't mind 5,300 for him. With a guy with his upside, not interested in Walker Kessler. Really no one else through here interests me. I guess we need the last core piece though, don't we, guys? I want it to be a Okongwu, but we can't rock a Okongwu. It's going to be Quentin Grimes, small forward. So that's the DK core, guys. Nick Smith, Quentin Grimes, Daniel Gafford, and Mark Williams. Let's run it. I'm going to post it in the Discord. See what kind of lineups we get here. There we go, it is posted in the Discord. Let's see here. This first lineup, I love this first lineup. Jalen Williams, I'm kind of on the fence about, but if he's the last piece in, I'm happy to rock it. Happy to rock it. Really like the builds we're getting here. All of them look great, honestly. Getting a lot of Tyus Jones, but I told you guys I'm happy to rock him today. No Bill out there. Happy to rock it. Trey Young, Nick Smith Jr. It's okay. I don't really care for Booker today, but I can see his upsides there for sure, Don. I'm going to leave this tab right here open on my ownership because I know 8's about to really hit me with it. We still got about 45 minutes to lock. About 45 minutes to lock. What's up, Alabama Jones? I'm also from Alabama, brother. No, you do not need to stack in NBA like you would baseball or football. Because there's just not as much correlation. The only correlation you're going to get in NBA is an assist. And, I mean, how often does one player assist another? The same player. Maybe 2 to 3 times a game. It's just not that relevant. Now, you absolutely can, but I don't think it's needed whatsoever. If you're stacking in NBA, you're hoping for the game to go to overtime, which is a thing on small slates, but not something I necessarily play for at all. Yeah, man, you got any DFS questions, I am happy to help you. That is why I'm here. Hey, I need to start building, man. I always get them in last minute. Jalen Johnson is 17.1, John Morant 13.7, and Jaren Jackson Jr. 15.7. And Mark is 9.3%. So I got a story to tell you guys about Mark Williams. Last year, Mark Williams was playing off the bench, and whoever the center was for Charlotte got injured. And in another Discord me and 8-Legged Ape used to be in, he told me, yo, this Mark Williams guy's a beast. You're going to want to play him and you're going to want to watch him. And I did, and Mark Williams is a beast. I don't know if you remember that or not, 8, but I do. Check my DMs, I got you. Let's see here. Absolutely a viable lineup today, man. Absolutely viable. You're not building quite the way I'm building, but that doesn't mean it's wrong by any means. I like that lineup. Looks solid. Guys, if you aren't in our Discord, it is free. You can do like Shannon just did and ask me questions in there, but you can do it even after the slate locks. Late swaps in NBA are vital if you want to take down. We get late injury news all the time, and when it comes out, I will let you know in the Discord, and I will give you viable pivots if you need them. But that can only be accessed in our Discord. It's completely free. Link down below in the description and somewhere in the chat. But you're always welcome to message me in there. No, I don't want to hear that, Ape, because you were telling me a month ago, check out this Khalil Ware guy. I think he's going to be big. Yeah, I remember that. Dyson is 3.4%, and J-Dub is 5.4%. Got Sengun and Ball as my pay-ups. I just prefer other centers today, but you're never wrong playing Sengun, if that makes sense. He has an upside just as high as anybody else, guys. Thank you, baby. Almost called her beautiful, and then I swapped to baby, and it come out weird. Tyus or DeAndre Hunter? It's Tyus for me. You got a lot of Dieng. I would not want to really be on Dieng today. If you're playing a single entry power, if you're playing 150 max, I wouldn't mind 3 or 4 lineups of Dieng. But if you're playing a single entry, I couldn't be there. Guys, we have grown this YouTube channel to over 140 subscribers. My wife just let me know. I can't say thank you enough to each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Do I think Williams is a must-in single entry? Mark Williams, I know you play on DK. Center is such a volatile spot. I wouldn't say he's a must, but I would say he has the upside higher than anyone at center. I think Mark Williams and Sengun have the highest upside at center today. And if you just look at the projections, I mean, I just swapped to it and it shows that. I wouldn't say he's a must, but I wouldn't want to go into the slate not having him in my single entry on DK. You about to say my name, huh? What you talking about, Chubbs? My favorite part of all of this is we're a family, man. We're a community. I love you guys. I truly do. It's like hanging out with my friends, talking sports. It ain't like a business thing. Let's see. I guess I'll start working on my lineups. When building with an optimizer, what's the best changes to make to get the best juice out of the squeeze? Well, it really depends on what optimizer you're using, Price. I'm not bullshitting you, probably 20 to 25 of them. Line Star's my favorite. You got some that have bare bones, hardly any options, and then you got some I've used that has, you have to watch YouTube videos to figure out how to use them. They have so many options. So, it's really which one you use. Saber Sim? Oh shit. I've tried Saber Sim, brother. You pretty much gotta have a degree to learn how to use their opto. They have a legit playlist on their YouTube of how to use their opto. So I'm not that versed in it. I used it for about 2 weeks and was like, I don't know how to run this. I watched the videos and still didn't get it. So I couldn't really help you out there, engineer. I'm sorry. Well, I hope you take down, Kyle. I truly do. I truly do. That's why I like Line Star, really. It's a nice blend of simple for me, and I'm just not the best with a computer. But it's pretty simple for me. Bamba plus Jalen Johnson or a Kongwu Nick Richards? I would rock Bamba Jalen Johnson if it was me. You should also rerun the optimizer every time a set of games starts on the slate. I don't do that. I do anytime we get big news, Zella, is what I do. Oh, Ronnie, dude, that means the world. That means the world. Now, I will say Alabama Jones, I have not tried Ace Mine. I've seen them like marketed and I've checked them out, but I haven't tried them. I haven't subscribed and tried them. I believe if I'm going to give you guys the best information, I have like, no lie, 20 plus subscriptions across the industry, and I check them out and I see what they're doing throughout the day and then see how that compares to what I'm thinking throughout the day. But I haven't tried Ace Mine. But man, Ronnie, that means the world to me. I appreciate it, buddy. We don't really have any major news that we are looking for. Really, just James Harden is all I can think of off the top of my head. I did try DFS Hero, and I agree with you. I thought it was cool, a little confusing, so I emailed with some questions, and they never got back to me, like ever. Niang, kind of the same, brother. I wouldn't want him unless we got news that he was starting. Then he would become intriguing. But as it sits right now, 3 or 4 shares and a GPP is all I would want. Well, 150 max GPP power. Kingrad posted in Reddit. I don't know what that means. I barely know how to work Reddit. Charlotte, Memphis, OKC hot. Yeah, I love Charlotte today. And I like OKC for value. Memphis, just okay for me. I agree with Utah being crap today, but I don't mind Brooklyn for the value today. Like, I'm not building around Brooklyn players, but for value, they're solid. Young, Smith Jr., Jones, Grimes, Booker, Harris, Williams, OKC. I don't mind that, Don. I don't mind that. Yeah, I like Beekman 8. I like Beekman. He's only pulling 6.3% ownership. I don't think enough of the public is on Beekman. Allen is 12% owned right now, buddy. 12%. Beekman's coming up in the Opto. Nick Smith, Karras, Whitmore, J. Will, Okongwu, Mark. I mean, it all looks great, Engineer. The only piece I'm just kind of on is Cam Whitmore, but his scoring's so good. If he gets hot, he can pay off quickly. So, you know, I don't mind it. Trey, Smith Jr., McDaniels, Nas, Okongwu, Mitchell, Harris, Mark Williams. Well, I don't like... Well, on DK is a better play, so Mitchell's fine. Who is Trey, Ronnie? Oh, Trey Young. I'm sorry. It's spelled different. But, yeah. Yeah, that's solid. I don't mind that. Yeah, I got you, Engineer. But I'm not on the Dillingham 8, but if you want to rock him, I see what you're throwing down. Like, I see where you're coming from for sure. I think Dillingham looks better on DK. But I don't really care for him on either side. Yo, Zella, that's some deep research, brother. I did not know he was from Dallas. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't normally play the whole narrative game, but I mean, I do. Like, when it comes to narratives, I think guys coming back to their hometown is like viable narrative to play. I don't really play the revenge narrative because like these guys are pros, you know, like they understand it's business. But guys want to do well in their hometown, right? $5,600 forward on DK. It's Tobias Harris or if you just want straight up projection, it's Tobias Harris. But I think Quentin Grimes is your best viable value. I assume you already have Nick Smith Jr. So Tobias Harris, just by pure projection. Quentin Grimes, if you kind of need projection and value, and then Nick Smith Jr. if you don't have him. I think he's a must-have. Yeah, I don't mind Isaiah Joe. I don't really mind any of the OKC backups. I really don't. Ballercade on DraftKings. Oh man, Ballercade. That's the question today. Just like period. For me on DK, I would rock Cade Cunningham because he's pulling significantly less ownership, and I think he's in a better matchup. So that's the way I would personally play it. Best 3K value, I think it's going to be Beckman. Yeah, Reese Beckman at 3K. Really like Reese Beckman today. What's Garland's ownership? On what site, Chubbs? Garland on FanDuel is 10%, 10.7%. Yeah, that was FanDuel, 10.7%. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be on Dayron today. He's grading out as a good value, 26.1%. I think that's a tad bit high, but everyone wants to pay up at guard today, and he allows you to do that. Yeah, for sure. Engineer. Tyus Jones on DK? Yeah, Tyus Jones looks amazing. I'm probably going to have Tyus Jones in all my single entries on DK. Got about 30 minutes to lock, guys. Eason or Nas on DK? It'd be Nas for me. Hey, heads up, this is big news for my DK peeps. Karis LeVert has been ruled out. Karis LeVert is out. I loved him on DK. He is out now. We cannot play Karis LeVert. Best pay up on the night? In my opinion, it's going to be LaMelo. But I think Kyrie is very sneaky. Hey, you're gonna need over 400 points to win today, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know what either one of the lines are on them, Freakzilla. But if I had to pick points, rebounds, and assists, it would be Harris. Yeah, Niang's looking much better now. I already know you got Dyson Daniels in it, bro. I already know it. I'm interested to see who Cleveland starts now. Yo, Alabama, you're 100% right. Who benefits the most without LeVert? Don't know. They're either going to start one of three guys. Dean Wade, Niang, or Max Strus. It's probably going to be Dean Wade. Probably going to be Dean Wade. "42 viewers, if you guys are new, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We do these shows every single day, guys. Hey, power, that's it. That is Dean Wade's game right there. $3,500 forward on DK that's viable on today's slate, absolutely. Let's look at him. Nick Smith, I'm going to assume you already have Nick Smith in your lineup, but Oliver Prosper is a great value on DK today at the 3K minimum, Ronnie. So, it would be Nick Smith, whom I've cored. He's got to be a staple of your lineup today, in my opinion. And then, if you already have Nick, it's Oliver Prosper. Start inputting my lineups, I suppose. So I've just been building in the background, adjusting things, and haven't uploaded a single lineup. Guys, I'm a free resource here for you to use. If you have any questions about your lineups or just DFS in general, just leave me open in a tab and start building in the background. I'm just here to help you when you need it. One more. Niang or Jones Jr. on FanDuel? It's going to be Jones Jr. for me. We're getting a lot of news. Let's see here. What do we got? Jake LaRavia ruled out. Luke Kennard's going to play. Mavs are starting. Kyrie Irving, Quentin Grimes, Oliver Prosper, Washington, and Gafford. So Prosper starting becomes instant, just great value, guys. Oliver Prosper, you're going to want to have him. Hawks starting Young, Daniels, Vic Krejci, Janet Johnson, and Kongwu. Pistons starting Cunningham, Hardaway, Thompson, Harris, Duran. Wolves starting Conley, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Randall, Gobert. Suns starting Jones, Booker, Dunn. Jones, Booker, Dunn, Durant, Richards. And Nets starting Martin, Tyrese Martin, Keon Johnson, Jalen Wilson, Noah Clowney, and Nick Claxton. So, going back to what I said, sorry. It's going to be Jones Jr. for me right now. One more thought on DK, Trey, McDaniels, Niang, Kongwu, Cade. Yeah, that looks great now that we know Prosper's starting, Ronnie. Niang, even if Niang doesn't start, he's going to get viable minutes. He's going to be fine. I do like Derrick Jones Jr. a little better on FanDuel, though, still, Justin. And, yeah, we're playing the Nets layoff. We are playing the shit out of them. Oliver Prosper starting. Wow. I guess I should have read into that and seen that, but here's some updated ownership. Kyrie coming in second most owned player now. Second most owned player now. More news. Isaiah Joe randomly ruled out. Isaiah Joe randomly ruled out. I said to start this show that we should not have very much news to worry about today, mainly the James Harden news. And here we are. No LeVert, no Najee Marshall, no Klay Thompson. No, not at all, Chubbs. I would take a Kongwu over Wiggins on both sites every time tonight, Chubbs. Yeah, she did, Chubbs. I didn't even think about that till you just said something, babe. She just asked me if she should play Wiggins, and I said, no, play a Kongwu. Are you going to regret that? I mean, I like both sides. Ball is my favorite pay up today, so I'm a little biased towards that side. But Trey has the same ceiling that Ball does. And I think Martin is a better play than Tosan. I can't say his last name. You guys know I can't say it. Prosper on FanDuel or just DK? Both sites. He looks great on both sites now, brother. FanDuel and DK both. Only 3,700 for him? Please. All day long, I'm happy to pay that. Easy value. You're going to need to score over 400 points on FanDuel today to win. With this much value. Do I think Dylan Brooks will be on Garland or Mitchell? If I had to guess, I'd say Garland. But truly, he's all over the court. Whoever they need him to guard, he can. He's a great defender. As much as I hate on Dylan Brooks, he is a great defender. I just replied to your DM, Shannon. Prosper over Jones Jr. or play both? I think playing both is absolutely viable. Jones Jr., he's got 21.97 right now. Prosper, I haven't updated it. I truly love them both. Justin, I would say whichever one fits your lineup better, or play them both. I think Dyson should be on Cade today. Yeah, he might be. Best power forward on DK. Price doesn't matter. If you just want pure raw projection, it would be Kevin Durant. But in my personal opinion, I like Jalen Johnson more for, what is that? $600 cheaper. So if I was only picking one, it's Jalen Johnson, Trey. Of course, Justin. Thank you. Of course, that's why I'm here, guys. That is why I'm here. I'm a free resource for you guys. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Shannon, I don't have the first lineup built yet. Oh my god, what am I doing? Iman Thompson's ownership is at 12.7%. 12.7. I know. All this news coming in. I actually had about 150 lineups built, and then all this news came in and screwed me all up. So, well, I got to rebuild. So we got a Kongwu starting again, man. A Kongwu is such a good play today. Love a Kongwu. Dottie, are you okay? My dog sounds like she just ran a marathon. If you guys are enjoying the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We do the shows every day, man. I just want to provide you guys with the information to take down and win some money. Money. Isn't it so frustrating, Kyle? Like beforehand, you're like, who am I running? And then after the slate starts, you're so nervous. Hope you made the right decision. Best option for small forward, power forward, 4,200 on FanDuel. Let's take a look. Just by pure projection, it looks like it's going to be Tosan or Derrick Jones. Either one of them. I mean, you can see on the screen, any of these 1, 2, 3, 4, really top 5 guys are absolutely viable. Is Aaron Wiggins a good play now? I wouldn't say he's a good play, but he's a viable play. Absolutely viable. Would I play Jalen and a Congo together? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely conflict. I see no issue with that at all. Yeah, that's okay, Power. I understand that. Ten minutes to lock. I need to get some lineups going here. What's going on with me? I think Alex Caruso's viable now, guys. As bad as I hate to say that. I think Alex Caruso's viable in a GPP. No, I like Kyrie Irving much more. I like Kyrie Irving much more. DeAndre Hunter or Tyrese Martin? Martin for me. Alabama. Martin for me. $5 lock. You got questions? Get them in. Get them in. Get them in. Because I don't have a single lineup put in yet. Holy moly. Good luck, Conflict. Wish you the best, buddy. Harden or Trey? It's close. Very close, Chubbs. I would rock Harden, but you got to be aware he is questionable, and it's the late night game. We may not get news if he's playing until way late. You may not have a viable pivot. So I think Trey is much safer. Good luck, Kyle. Wish you nothing but the best, buddy. Allen is 7.4 and Spida is 13.2. Yeah, you could pivot to Curry. I don't really care for Curry today, though. He's okay at best. 8. If you want to get different piece, though, then yeah. Like, I think he's a solid get different piece. And I mean, I know how you play, so I know that's what you're looking for. Cade, Harden, Kyrie, KPGA, Grimes. Oh, I really like that, Chubbs. I wish you could have got to Mark Williams in there, but I understand that you can't. But man, that looks great. That looks great. I'd be happy to run that if it were me, buddy. Happy to run that. 2 minutes to lock. 2 minutes to lock. You got questions, please get them in. DM, okay, let me check them. I didn't even have it pulled up. I don't mind that. Like, I don't like Fox today, but outside of that, the lineup looks solid. Guys, I can't say thank you enough. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Please hit the subscribe button. It helps tremendously. We do these shows every day and I'm here to help you completely free with whatever lineup questions you have. Join our Discord. It is also free. Linked in the chat and down below in the description. We have a premium section where I post projections and the cores every day in case you can't make it to the show, and it helps me tremendously. Big help to me. Quit my job to do this. Hoping to help you guys make some money. That's understandable, Shannon. Understandable. But with that said, I'm going to get out of here because my kids just cannot be quiet. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you need anything, I'm always available in the Discord. Feel free to @ me in there at any time. But I am out of here. Good luck.